Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Recently, I spent the day in the Mount Washington Valley with local businesses, hearing from small business owners about the challenges that they face. I met with the owners of White Mountain Puzzles, a second-generation family business that produces 1.6 million made-in-the-USA puzzles a year and sells them all over the world. Later in the day, I stopped by Lupine Pet, another terrific locally owned business that sells durable pet collars and harnesses. Mr. Speaker, in keeping with our proud live free or die tradition in the Granite State, we pay no sales taxes on goods and services. White Mountain Puzzles and Lupine Pet are just two of the many small businesses that have thrived under the rules of the road of our state's economy. Unfortunately, a recent Supreme Court decision is casting a dark shadow over these entrepreneurs. It's threatening those who have brick-and-mortar operations in our state and make a living selling online sales to customers across the street and around the world. Mr. Speaker, in June of 2018, the Supreme Court upended decades of precedent. In its decision in the Wayfair case, the court ruled that a jurisdiction may legally impose sales taxes on customers of sellers that don't have a physical presence within that jurisdiction's borders. Unfortunately, states across the country are now rushing to capitalize on this new taxing power, to the detriment of businesses in New Hampshire that don't impose sales taxes on consumers and aren't prepared to collect them. Ultimately, the Wayfair decision could force untold numbers of small retailers in my state to stop doing business altogether over the internet. That's a possibility that should alarm every American. We should be empowering entrepreneurs and innovators, the true driving force of the American economy, not stifling them with burdensome tax collection requirements. Here's the bottom line, Mr. Speaker. Businesses in my district should not be punished simply for using the internet to reach their customer base. Clearly, the time has come for Congress to act, and there are common sense steps that members of both parties should embrace, regardless of the tax laws in the states that we represent. First and foremost, we should prevent sales taxes from being imposed retroactively, and we should give businesses enough time to understand this court decision. As a business owner myself, I can tell you how unreasonable it is to expect companies to somehow meet this new tax collection obligation at the drop of a hat, a financial burden that they couldn't possibly have anticipated. Second, given the high cost and complexity of complying with different sales tax laws in nearly 11,000 jurisdictions, we should create an exception to collection requirements for these small businesses. The great folks at White Mountain Puzzles have a special talent for creating incredible jigsaw puzzles, not for navigating complex, unique sales tax rules from every state and municipality in America. Dave and Scott at Lupine Pet don't have a legal department or a big team of accountants to assist them in collecting and remitting the right amounts. And they say the cost of compliance, including the software solution for their small business, adds up to at least $25,000 a year. Let's give them and millions of other small business owners a well-deserved break. Let's give them the protections that they deserve. Mr. Speaker, e-commerce is an American success story. Online sales have created millions of jobs, and they connect Americans from coast to coast. Internet retailers give rural America the opportunity to participate more fully in our country's economic success. Let's give these online sellers, including hundreds of small businesses in the Granite State, the support and the certainty they deserve to continue to grow and prosper. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.